Hello, my beautiful people, and welcome to my channel, to my YouTube channel. Finally, I have a YouTube channel. Can you believe it? I'm patting myself on the shoulder for finally doing this. I never thought I could do it, but I would like to say thanks to those people who were encouraging me to do this, and I would like to thank my beautiful 10-year-old daughter who has also been pushing me, and she is my coach, as I don't know much about this, but I do know what I want to talk about, but I just don't know the channels. So as my coach has told me, she has asked me to ask you guys to please like, subscribe, and send your comments. Did I say it right? Yeah, I hope so.
It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Welcome to my YouTube channel.
Okay, guys, let me introduce myself. My name is Sweetness Ndwandwa Mubita. I come from the Eastern Cape in South Africa. I am Xhosa, meaning I do have a Xhosa name. My Xhosa name is Nokuqika. I may not pronounce it as perfectly as it's supposed to be due to my lack of teeth. Oh my gosh, eating too much sweets is never good. But my sister is gonna say it just now for you. Let me keep my mouth shut so that you hear her well.
Nokuqika, shortened qika.
There you go, guys. My siblings, they call me Qika. Nokuqika means somebody that reasons before doing something. When I say Qika, I mean reason, think deeper. But when I say Qinga, I say think. So you can imagine how powerful this name is. And Sweetness is also my name. Most of the time, people always ask me when I introduce myself, is that your real name? Well, Sweetness is my real name. I was given by my dad. Sweetness is on my ID, it's on my birth certificate, it's on my passport. Yes, Sweetness is my name, my real name. I've had some women who'd call me and be like, why is my husband calling you Sweetness? Why is your name on my husband's phone? Well, it's because it's my name, guys. Please, you should have asked your dads to give you names like mine. Anyway, to be serious, let me tell you where I originate from. I am a second born of 8 children. My dad had 2 wives. The first and the second wife. I'm a child from the first marriage. I come from a place named Teko Springs. We were privileged that our parents could afford themselves a farm to buy themselves a farm from the Boers those days. The farm was not in the village where everybody was staying. As we know the history, we know that Boer people never wanted to be around us as Africans. So the farm was quite very far from everybody else, just an isolated place, and that's where we grew up. If it wasn't for me having siblings like my 2 brothers who were always rough on me, I would have had the most terrible childhood. I would have had the most lonely childhood because there were no children, there were no friends to play with. The only time we could see people was when people are coming from the village to buy from the shop that we had at home. But I do appreciate growing there because it has helped me a lot in my career. I'm a fashion designer by profession, and my designs are African inspired. From ages ago, when I started designing, I was greatly influenced by my origin, which is Xhosa. Most of my designs, you will see that they are Xhosa inspired. So I appreciate growing where I grew up because it has helped me to become who I am today. Okay, first of all, I schooled in South Africa, primary, and then secondary, I was in Swaziland for for how many years? For 3 years. I schooled at Kwamanzini, Mjingo. It was a girls' school. And after that, I went to do my matric in Lesotho at Saint Catherine's High. That was in Maseru in Lesotho. And thereafter, whilst I was doing that, there was an auntie of mine who used to make dresses. And wherever I wanted to go, I always wanted to look different. Therefore, I would always trouble my aunt. Dabawo, please, can you make me this? I want to go to this place. Dabawo, please make me this. Until one day she said, you know, my daughter, the way you love to look different, I think you should take fashion designing. Then that time I didn't know much about fashion designing, and we didn't have Google then. I started just making my research, inquiring where can I go and study. And I did my first year in Joburg, which was KMT College, which stood for Knowledge Must Triumph. And then the next 2 years, I was in Durban at a private school named Reina Academy. That's where I graduated with two friends of mine, whom we later on went to Amtata to open our private design studio. We used to design for individuals, and we later on started giving classes, design classes, until such time, I think I was there for 3 years. After 3 years, then I thought, okay, this is enough now. I think I have an idea of how to go about this. And then I left from Amtata and I moved to East London to start working on my own. And that's where I spent some time until such time that there was an advert in the newspaper that was looking for fashion design lecturers. I will tell you more about my career, how I became a lecturer at an institution now named Walter Sisulu University. Then it was called Border Technikon. Well, until next time, guys, I don't want to bore you too much, but I just want to give you a guideline what this channel, what we'll be talking about. It's basically about me. I'm an artist. We know that there are visual artists, there are performing artists. I'm a visual artist because my art is what you see and what you wear and what you feel. I don't perform on stage. So as an artist, I'm a creative basically, and I just want to show you my creativity. It might inspire you also as to, especially those people who love fashion, those people who love themselves. I'll say who love themselves, because if you love yourself, you want to look good. And by looking good, it is important to know what looks good on you. So those are the issues that I'll be talking about. What I'll be doing, I'll be coming up with designs. I'll sketch the design, and then I will show you how I'm drafting the pattern, because as a designer, you should be able to draft your own pattern. So those people who just wake up one day and decide, I'm a fashion designer, no, you are not a fashion designer just because you know how to draw. Fashion designer, to become a fashion designer, it entails lots of stuff that you have to learn. You don't just wake up one day and decide, oh, I love clothing, I can sketch, therefore I'm a fashion designer. Do you know how to draft your own pattern? Do you know how to grade into different sizes those patterns that you have? Do you know how to do technical drawing? Because those are some of the things you have to study history of fashion. As a fashion designer, there are subjects that you ought to learn. Besides being able to sketch, you have to be able to draft, meaning pattern drafting. You have to be able to grading into different sizes, the patterns. You have to have history of fashion. You have to learn clothing technology, which is now making the actual dress. And the last or the least is computer aided design, because of technology improving every day. You don't have to necessarily draft your patterns from the way we were doing before. You can use now computers to design your patterns. I don't want to elaborate much on that. I'll do so on the next video. So guys, stay tuned. Please send your comments, send your likes. I would appreciate that, and your comments are very important to me, so that I have a direction. Like I told you, this is my first video, and it might not have been so great, but I promise you things will be better as time goes by. Take care till next time. I love you all.